Hey, hi everyone. Greetings. This is Roshan from Team U1. Currently working as a machine learning engineer at Fright Tiger. So coming to Grab Hack 2025, the problem statement that we have chosen is embedded fintech as the problem space. So it was quite evident from the PDF that you have shared what you're trying to address here, what problem you're trying to address here. So let's start by what we have understood and how we have observed this problem to be more critical, right? So Grab has done incredible things in Southeast Asia, like Grab Pay for quick payments, Grab credits for loans, Grab Mart for shopping. But getting these services into other apps is a headache for developers. So Grab's APIs are super complex with tons of docs to read through, and which slows down the building of apps and keeps Grab from reaching more users. And one more thing here that we think that was not covered in the PDF was a very important issue that like the upcoming days or coming years, it's all going to be agentic automation, agentic AI and automation workflows. So it's very much necessary that the uh, the APIs, right? They should have a common server so that the agents could connect to those server to communicate with the APIs. Uh, if if agents say they don't have a particular common server, then it's very difficult that each agent should process the entire documentation and pass it to the next agent, and the same again. It goes on, and it's actually a very huge issue that we think. So I think a common MCP server or a common language could actually ease this process, and it's more like a compulsity of this problem statement rather than an enhancement, we think. So uh, the solution that we are proposing for the problem here is basically GrabConnect. So GrabConnect is a Dockerized server that abstracts the Grab's complex API documentation, just as I'll show you in the diagram now. Um, mm, so this is how we are planning for the entire approach. So first, the Grab's API doc would be abstracted into a server, which we call as a MCP server. Uh, so after we create this MCP server, we will be dockerizing it, and we will be having a server URL. So in order to access this server URL, we have to create a config JSON, which we will create and give to the developers. Now, how do we configure the server which we have created into the editors that the developers are using? So for this, the JSON that we create for that particular MCP server will be shared with the developer, and the developers, let's say he's using VS Code, he would be copying that JSON that we have provided and uh, uh, paste it in his extension. So that's basically extension now in VS Code. You can just paste it in that extension, and that particular MCP server would be configured in his terminal itself, and configured in his editor itself, and he would be able to access that particular MCP server that we have created, and he can talk to it. Now, once that particular MCP server is configured, you can just talk to that server in your own language now. We have four agents: loan, payment, commerce, and developer agent. Uh, so the Claude agent will be responsible for routing it into any of these four agents. So the Claude will analyze the NLP and other intent, what the developer wants, and helps in routing it into any of the four agents. So each of these agent leverages tools, basically the endpoints of our MCP server. Like you can see these three are for loan and similar things for the other agents as well. The most important agent here is the developer agent. It is the most critical agent for integrating our MCP server into the developer's code base. So the developer agent will have a guidebook. So it basically uses a guidebook as a knowledge base. So what this guidebook JSON contains is basically the entire documentation of the MCP server we have Dockerized, which is basically the abstracted API endpoints. So it will contain all the information about the MCP server and how to code it, and other webhooks and parents as well. So let's take a look of a low-level workflow on how the GrabConnect MCP server can be used by the developers. So in that extension section in his IDE, let's say he types simple prompt, hey, help me set up a fintech product in my app. So that particular intent. So what kind of fintech product is it? Is it a Grab Credit, Grab Pay, Grab Mart? So what kind of setup he needs? So basically it's a setup, right? So that's when Claude will analyze that, okay, he's trying to develop something, so I need to route it to the developer agent. So the developer agent will be triggered. It will check the guidebook, as I said earlier, and it will give him code for that. So once the developer configures and codes up the MCP server, how will it work internally is basically, uh, let's say he has asked the prompt for to generate a Grab credit loan integration, right, with a button. let's say, and the Claude has given him a snippet. I mean, our server has generated a snippet of code. When the user clicks in, it will show him whether he's eligible for loan or not. So how will this work? So basically, whenever the customer clicks the button, so the portfolio of the customer will be taken as a payload, and it will be passed as a question: am I eligible for a Grab credit loan? This is my profile, and the Claude will route this particular question, and it will analyze and it will pass it to the loan agent, basically, because that is the basic intent. So the loan agent would be using the webhooks of the production level Grab API and would be giving the response, whatever response it needs. So this is how it works on a high level and a low level as well. That's what we are planning to build, basically, for the Grab app 2025, and we believe it would reduce the integration time by 50%, and the Grab Pay, Grab Credit, and the other API would be more utilized by at least 20% more. That's what we think, and we are excited to see what we could bring for the Grab app 2025, and let's hope we make the best out of this. Thank you.